Hey guys, I did this look. I wanted to do something that was kind of giving me some drama, but a little bit on the neutral side at the same time. So, if you like the look, give me a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe, and let's get into this content. Okay, so I'm going in with my Stila Aqua Glow foundation, and I'm just blending that all out. I used one full drop on the whole face. And if you want a fuller coverage, you can use a brush instead of a sponge. But I'm already finna layer quite a bit of makeup on, so that's good enough for me. And make sure you get it on your nose. I have my concealer already on my lids because I did that when I did my brows. I'm using L'Oreal's Infallible Full Wear in Almond 410. And my Stila foundation was in dark, if I didn't say that. And we're gonna use a small triangle. I do mean small. A little bit goes a long way. A dot here. And a light mark up the forehead. Starting in the middle of the nose. I feel like I didn't get enough foundation on my nose. So I'm just going to put a tad bit more on there. And blend that out. I know some of y'all are probably thinking like, yo, that's darker than your whole body, but it's a little bit of a difference, but not so like major that it can't be fixed. Okay, so we're just gonna start blending that out. And I blend it a little bit into the mouth. And then we'll do the same on this side. I'm blending that out. Blending it at the top of my cheekbones. Okay. And then we're gonna blend out the makeup on our nose. I know y'all are like, girl, what is that? Don't worry about this. We're gonna fix this. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get my face stuff out of the way. So we're gonna go in with Too Faced Translucent Medium. And I'm just gonna dust a little bit on. I don't wanna go too crazy because I don't like my face matte. So I literally have a tad bit on, and I'm just gonna brush that on very lightly. And the same for this side. Just brushing that on lightly and taking whatever excess is left and putting it on my nose, my eyes, and those other areas. Okay. So we're gonna hit it with the shade is called Dollywood. And this is a MAC Flameboyant palette. And we're just gonna start at the top of our cheeks. I don't know why this brush isn't picking any of it up, but okay. Okay, let's try that again. And I'm using that just as a light blush. Just kind of also blending out what is already on my face, because those are some really harsh transitions. And then I'll use the darker shade next to it more so as a blush and bronzer. And I put a little bit on my nose. Okay, now we're gonna go on with the darker shade next to it called Rule. This one. And we're gonna use that as a blush and a contour. Ooh, getting rosy in here. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. And this brush right here is an e.l.f. Bronzing brush. I think it comes in a set. And then we're gonna take the same shade and we're just gonna dust some around here. And then around our foreheads. Just trying to even it out. Okay, my eye contact moved, so I'm just gonna adjust it. There we go. That was very uncomfortable for a second. And then I also want to use a little bit of the red shade at the bottom called Love at First Sight? No, Flameboyant. I'm just going to brush a really small amount on the bottom of my cheeks. I don't know what's going on with my contacts right now, but if you see me close my eyes, because my contact is bothering me. Okay, this brush isn't really picking up much, so I'm going to use my highlighting brush because I don't want this coming off really harsh. Oh, somehow my brush must have got wet. That's what's going on. Okay, that's a little too intense. So we're going to take the same brush and blend it out. And then we're going to go back with the excess powder left in our transition powder. And we're going to use it to cut our cheek a little bit. I'm actually going to let it blend up into here because my red has gotten a little too red, so it's giving me like rosacea instead of blush. Okay. And then we're going to take this blending brush. It's from Sephora. It's from one of their magnetic affordable collections. And we're going back in with Dollywood. And we're going to use that as a transition shade, and we're just going to put it all over the lid. Try to keep these videos with few tools as possible, just because the more tools, the more intimidating it becomes to do your makeup. Or at least I feel that way. I don't know, maybe some people don't agree. Maybe it makes them excited to do makeup. And you see, I've just added some definition to the eye. And we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to start in our crease, and then we're just blending up into our brow. And then we're gonna go in with that deeper shade next to it. Gosh, I can't think of the rule. I done read these shades I don't know how many times. I'm just gonna tap that here and tap that here first. It's just a little marker. And then I'm gonna blend it out. Okay, so that side doesn't want to cooperate, but it's okay. We got this. Ooh. And I'm just going in with the crease with rule. And you see I have a defined, more defined eye. I put a lot on the other eye, so I'm trying to blend it out and even out everything I'm doing. And then I'm blending it up into my brow just to soften that up. So I'm going all on the outside because this side looks a little harsh. Okay. And we're gonna add a little bit more to the corner. And I'm almost blending it on my lid just because I want all the definition to be here, right between my lid and my crease. And then here's the fun part. I like a little bit of glitter. So I'm gonna go in with L'Oreal's 24-Hour Infallible eyeshadow in 335 Golden Emerald. Looks like this. I'm going in with the L'Oreal Infallible 335 eyeshadow in Golden Emerald. Sorry, my thigh was hurting. I had to shift. Comes with one of these. I think that's cool because it keeps the eyeshadow all even and flat. And then I'm just gonna take a flat synthetic brush and dip that in there. I kind of want to wet it because I don't want this to have a bunch of fallout. Let's see. I don't know. I'm not having too bad of fallout. And I'm just patting this on. So, taking the eyeshadow and I'm just patting it on. Okay, so the sweeping motions seem to give me less fallout. Fortunately, we already did our foundation, so we have on our translucent powder, and we can just wipe the fallout off anyway. Ooh, this is giving me like Christmas fever. Just the hair, yeah. This is giving me real mistletoe. Okay, so I like that, but I want to give it a little bit more spunk. So I'm going to go in with my Too Faced palette, and I'm going to hit it with the gold shade in the middle. I think it's called Pineapple, Passports and Pineapples, that's what it's called. And I'm just going to use it as a topper. I'm going to top the shade that I already did. I'm just going in my Too Faced Tutti Frutti palette and Passports and Pineapples, this gold shade in the middle. And I'm just brushing it over the top. And that shade's not, it's kind of a chunky glitter almost more so than it is eyeshadow, I feel like. I definitely would use it for a glossy lid if that was a look that I wanted to do today. And then I'm gonna go into the same palette and use the two brown shades, this one and this one. And those is are Coconut and Tutti Cutie. And I'm just gonna pat that right here. And blend it upwards. Tapping it right on the corner. I actually think I just like the shade Tutti Cutie in that spot, because I think I have plenty of depth. So I added more Tutti Cutie than I did Coconut. Okay, so I felt like my blush got a little out of hand earlier, so I want to take a little bit more of that translucent powder and use it to carve out my cheek. Okay, and I'm just gonna blend out what's left over so I don't have that harsh line. My blush was running like down into here, so if you see, that helps soften it up but also correct the line. And then my favorite part, highlighter. Okay, so I'm bringing out big guns. We're gonna use this LA Colors Ice Pigment in Glowing. Now guys, you really don't need much of this or you're gonna be a glazed donut and not the good kind. And then we're gonna go on this side. And I like to layer my highlighters. So that was a good start. Keyword, a good start. Because we're going to take it up a lot of notches. And then we're going to go in back in the Flameboyant palette and go in with this white shade. And we're laying that on top. And the same for this side. We're just laying that on top. Put a little bit down the bridge of my nose. A little, I should have just said a lot down the bridge of my nose. And then a little bit down here. I like to put mine at the bottom because I feel like the top of my nose is already shiny. So we're just blending that out a little bit more. And then sometimes what I like to do is tap into these two very lightly and just layer it over the blush. Which is, I think that was called The Love of My Life. Oh, Love at First Sight. And go right on top of the same highlighter. So you see I didn't lose my blush anymore when I went over with that pinker shade. And then I want to put a little bit at my brow bone. And I'm back into that white shade called La Vida Mocha. La Vida Mocha? Oh, it really is called La Vida Mocha. I don't know why mocha, because it's, I don't know. When I think mocha, I think brown, so. But that's okay. Okay, so I put on my mascara off camera. I'm enjoying the look, but it feels a little dark for what I was going for. So I'm just going to take this shade right here. What is it called? Yum Yum. From the Tutti Frutti palette. I did wet my brush before I... And I'm going to layer some of that on top of the front of my look. Okay, that helped a lot. You see that little beam right here? I did it on the other eye too, but for some reason it's not showing from this angle. I'm just gonna add a little bit more. So again, we just put a little bit of Yum Yum in the front of the eye to about here. We just, and a little bit of, and then we put a little here. And I'm gonna add some of that pineapple shade, the gold one, in the corner of my eye as well. Go in with the L'Oreal, it's their matte lipstick in 432 called Dare. I'm just gonna use it as a lip liner. And I'm bringing it in and I'm mixing it with Berlin from the NYX Soft Matte. And that's because the NYX one is not dark enough. And then if I leave it by the L'Oreal one by itself, it gets a little too dark for what I'm going for. And then I'm using Athens. I'm serving some lips today, you know.